Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. How's everyone doing today? Let's start off real quick by saying hello. I'll tell you what, I was about 3 seconds late today, I think. Make sure you watch the video that I'm putting out later on today. Right? I tried to load it up once, and YouTube really didn't like it. So I had to make a little bit of an adjustment to it. I'm going to try to load it up again after this live stream so that you can take a look at that. We have to stay within the guidelines. If not, ladies and gentlemen, we may not be able to do this. And this is actually my favorite part of the week, Fridays and Sundays. Let's see. We've got Copernicus in the house. Rick Massey, how you doing? Jan, how are you? Evita, hello, JR. How are you doing, my brother? Let's see who else. JT is here. Yarn Prepper. All of our mods are here. Thank you for being here, ladies. Truly do appreciate all of you. Sparky's Run is here. Randy Brown, Linda, JT Flip Flop Farmer. I like it. Who else do we have here? Never Look Back. Tracy Bailey. Let's see. Hopefully you're here. Okay, I'm going to put this here right now. I'm going to leave it there right now. Okay. TJ Pelfrey. Right? TJ Pelfrey. Please email me to the email address you see below, onewinnerwinnerchickendinner2@gmail.com, so that I can send you your prize. I think you've been trying to email me, but for some reason I'm not getting it, and I also check my spam and everything. Okay, if for some reason you just can't get through to me, see if you can get with Yarn Prepper on her Instagram, right? See if you can get with Yarn Prepper on her Instagram so that she can give me your email, or we can get in touch. I really want you to get that movie or your prize, which was the movie Top Gun. All right. So I'm going to leave that there for a minute. I hope that you're seeing this right now. Scott Hummer, how are you doing? Ann Berry, how are you? Mr. Leslie, how are you doing? Mark, how are you? Becky Reed is here. Linda Regalado, how are you doing? Leslie. Tonette is in the house. Say hello to the hubby, Tonette. How are you today? Metal Tracker, Laura, Freedom Seeds for All. Amen to that. Brenda Sands, Robin 2539, Sheila Andrews, Ruth Berger, Diana Toole, CJ Black is here. Nimzo Van Leuven, how are you doing? Good to see you here today. Trucker Hersey's in the house. Oh, sorry to my mods. Now Trucker Hersey says you know you're all ladies. The 49th state, Jennifer, how you doing? Jennifer Cruz, Rafter Stacker, Janice Weichel, how are you? Let's see. Thomas from Austria is in the house. Good to see you, Thomas. Shelly is here. Village Homestead. Let's see. Village. Oh, you guys are in the positives now. You're 14 degrees Fahrenheit. It's getting a little chillier here. It's about -3 today, so not terrible. Not terrible. The Grinch is here. J.R. Swackhammer. How are you doing? Hillbilly Prepper. Good to see you. Kevin Grip. Let me see. Where is the Justice? How are you? Where is the Justice? Nice to see you. I actually got to meet my new friend, Where is the Justice, out in town here the other day. Good to see you. And it was very nice meeting you, by the way. A Cowboy's Hippie Life. Flapping Wings. How you doing? Flapping Wing, if you open a number 10 can, how would you reseal it? You wouldn't be able to reseal it unless you had a number 10 can machine that puts on the lids. However, if you want to preserve the contents, all you have to do is repackage it with an oxygen absorber. I mean, you can repackage it in Mylar if you like, or you can repackage it in a mason jar if you like. Throw an oxygen absorber in there. And I would recommend that you vacuum seal it with a food saver lid, and you should be good to go. Okay. How you doing, Sharon? Good to see you. Someone's birthday is today, so happy birthday. I didn't see whose birthday it is today. How you doing, the lifeboat? Good to see you. Let me see. You know, the lifeboat says your video about opioids and the border was awesome. I'm so senile that I don't even remember making that video. But yeah, take a look at that video if you haven't. You know, it'll wake you up. You know, I was talking to a good friend of mine yesterday, and we were talking to good friends of mine. We were talking about how expensive pharmaceutical drugs are here in the United States of America. And I was trying to explain to them, and they already knew. So I was, explaining to them, thinking they didn't know, but they already knew. They were tracking already. That the reason that pharmaceuticals here are so expensive, and they're so much less expensive in other nations and other countries, is because it's a transfer of wealth, ladies and gentlemen. The way that works is that, let's say, for example, whatever pharmaceutical you want to pick, pharmaceutical A, right? Let's say here it's $100 for a pill, right? And then let's say a lot of people are always saying, man, I can go across the border and get it for 10 cents a pill, for 100 times less than what we have to pay for it here. Even though that medication that's being sold here and being sold in another country, it's produced by the exact same pharmaceutical company, right? Why is that? Because what we're doing here is, in paying the prices that we're paying, is we are supplementing, or we are subsidizing the cost of that same medication to the countries that are getting it at 100 times less than what we pay for it. And you can put in whatever numbers it is for whatever medication. But if we can buy a medication here for $100 and get it somewhere else for $1 or for 10 cents or whatever it is, it's because we are subsidizing that medication for them by paying more for it to the same pharmaceutical company that is selling it to a different country, without ever anything having changed in the ingredients or what that medication does. It's all it is. The United States of America, we, the people of the United States of America, we are nothing but a cash cow. And unfortunately, in order for us to earn that cash, we have to use our labor, right, and our time. So we are nothing but a cash cow, and they are milking us of our freedoms. Think about how much more time. What is your most valuable asset, right? A person's most valuable asset. If you ask someone that doesn't really know, they're going to say, oh, a house. Your house is your most valuable asset, right? But it's not. It's your time. And think about how much more time you would have to spend with your family and doing the things that you like to do and want to do if we didn't have to pay all of the taxes that we pay, not only to the federal government or the state government, but also through the inflated prices that we are charged in order to live the standard of living that other countries are able to live as well. Right? I did a video here, I think it was yesterday, where I talked about that as far as the standard of living, I think we're number 8 now in the world. But think about how much better your standard of living would be if you didn't have to spend as much as you spend now for those same things that are sold in other countries at a much lesser price. So the U.S. is nothing but a big cash cow, and it's just a bunch of people sitting on the top milking us for everything that they can possibly get out of us. And then they're going to just go ahead and put us into another financial system, whatever it may be. And the process will start all over again. All right. The cycle will start all over again, just like it did last time. They'll allow us through propaganda to think that the money that we are using has value, and it will. At first, it will be real money, right? Because when a nation becomes weary of the money that the government uses, just like we are now, and a lot of people are waking up, and when we the people finally say, that's it, we're not doing this anymore. How is it that my time is 50% less valuable today than it was 20 years ago? Eventually people will catch up, and people are catching up the hard way. As I've stated before, there's going to be a lot of suffering that goes on before we transition to a system that is more fair for we the people, instead of it being fair for those that make the rules and not fair for us because we have to follow those rules that they themselves don't have to follow. So that's gonna be the cycle, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what that is as far as medication and opioids. And we can go into a whole bunch of stuff about that. Now I remember the video about the opioids and about how we're not talking about that here in the United States when we are sending funds to other countries instead of using those funds here to help our own situation. But that's a video in itself, and it's actually already up. So good to see you again. Josie Hickman, good to see you here. Mickey Miller, Terry Moorhead, how you doing? Surviving Behind Liberal Lines is here. Joan Baxter, how you doing? All the way from Scotland. Well, welcome, John. I said Joan, it's John. Welcome. Peaceful Prepper is here. I like that. Chad Dolan, B. Jones, Joyce Terra, Rudolph Neems. How are you doing? Secret Squirrel. Trucker Hersey says, okay, you're just saying something to Miss Worm. Gina, how you doing? Cynthia, Cindy, City Girl is here. How you doing? 42 degrees in Michigan. Let me see. Mark is here. How you doing, Mark? Whose 50th birthday is it? Happy birthday to our half centurion. Good morning, V. Burks. Good to see you. Janet Dale, good to see you. Rakamas is here. Linda Regalado, I already said hi. My husband was wondering if you are buying eagles or just silver rounds. Oh, well, that's a good question. I like to diversify in everything. I think it's a good idea to have silver eagles or sovereigns, right? For whatever country you may want to get them from Canada, Maple Leaf, from Great Britain, from Australia. I think it's a good idea to have sovereigns or coins, another way to say it. And I also think it's a good idea to also have your just regular bullion. In my opinion, if you're just starting out, I would start out with bullion because silver is silver is silver. And a bullion coin still has pure silver, just like an eagle has pure silver, but the premium is a lot less. Like for right now, a 2023 silver eagle is going for about $35 at the coin shop, right? And a regular silver round, that's just a generic silver round, still has the exact same silver in it, same purity and everything. But that's going for about, this is the last time that I visited the coin shop a few days ago. Unfortunately, the day before silver and gold took that massive drop. Happens all the time to me. But right now, when I went there last time, a silver round was about $27. So it was only about $3.25 or so premium, where a silver eagle, the premium on that was probably about what, $12 or something like that. So it's a significant, a significant difference in price. Okay, so I would go with rounds if I'm just starting out, but I do like to have a little bit of eagles, also a little bit of sovereigns, because it's always just a good idea to be diversified in everything. Usually in the beginning of the year, I buy a few brand new silver eagles, like the coin shop here at Alaska Rare Coins. They have 2023 silver eagles. I like to buy a few just because I like to have one of every year, but I don't go out and buy a lot of them. The majority of those that I have, or the majority of the silver that I have, is generic silver, right? It's not sovereign coins. Trinity 88, how you doing? Becky, Sharon McGee, Jacqueline Johnson is here. How you doing? Also, it's Jacqueline's birthday. Well, happy birthday to you, Jacqueline. Today is a good day. May the good Lord bless you with many more, Jacqueline. Happy birthday to you. That's awesome. Jen, how you doing? Negotiator is here from southeastern Arizona. 70 degrees. Man, that must be pretty cold for you all down there, huh? 70 degrees. James Wagner, Bob R., Montana Living. Who else do we have in the house? Tenacious Tortoise, how are you doing? From Iowa. Chia Pet is here as well. Dunham Tribuli, I believe that's how you pronounce that one. Jeff Gregory, how you doing? Salty Dog is in the house. Okay, awesome. Thanks for letting us know, Salty. If you haven't seen Funky Preppers Live from yesterday with Michael, it was very good. Okay, I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen that. How you doing? Me too. Good to see you. Sharon McKee, 64 degrees in Mississippi. Disable and Prepping, how you doing? Say hello to the pup. How you doing, Troll? Let me see. Jenny Murphy, how are you doing? Good to see you. Michael, how are you? Greta Dice. Randy Brown is in the house. Phil Davis. Sergeant Rudy is here. How are you? Happy Sunday to you as well. Cindy Y. It's my birthday too. Really, it's everyone's birthday today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not having a birthday giveaway today, all right? Diane Steck, Sean S., how you doing? Robert, Cool as Ice, how you doing? The Lifeboat. So let me talk about something real quick, because this is part of the conversation I had yesterday with a friend of mine over the phone. And they were saying, yeah, I was going over your comments, and there's some people that are commenting that they're very stressed out from all of this news that they see coming out and all that stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, Preparedness is so that it can take away your stress. Preparedness is so that it can take away your fear. Right? Remember that fear is the number one tool that governments use against their people. Propaganda. I mean, take a look at this real quick. Flashback. We all know this. Now, this is a quote from a previous CIA director. I believe it was back in the 80s. And this was his quote. We all know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false. Right? And some people say, well, that was taken out of context. Anyone that knows anything, anyone that has any life experience knows that that quote is accurate. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, is that I believe that here for the next couple of years, that the propaganda in order to get us into a world war or a war of any kind is going to get higher and higher and higher. One of my very favorite movies in the world, in my opinion, is somewhat of a propaganda movie. And that was the Top Gun that just came out. What were they doing? What were they doing in that movie? If you've watched that movie, I'll try not to do a spoiler alert, but I'll say one thing. They were disposing of a site that had radioactive material, right? From a certain country that we all know, we've been saying for years, yeah, they're going to produce a nuclear, projectile, right? So we're going to get more and more propaganda. I'm not sure how much of it we're going to be getting from Hollywood directly against China, because I believe that China pretty much owns Hollywood, right? If you take a look around, there's a lot of movies that they actually say, yes, you're blessed off on this movie. You can go ahead and produce it that way. Or some movies that say, no, you got to change this and that. And they go along to get along. Why? Because they want to make that money. They want to make that money, and China has a very big audience. And if they can release their movies in China, then guess what? They're going to make a lot more money. All right. I believe in capitalism, but I also believe that putting your country above, money is important as well. There's plenty of opportunity here in the United States. You can become very wealthy here in the United States if you want to, and if you work hard enough. There's plenty of opportunity. I don't think that we should be selling out our nation, because in selling out our nation, it's not selling out our government. It's selling out our people. I don't think that you ought to sell out your nation for money, but that's just how I feel. And I know that people are different. All right. But anyways, you're going to see a lot more propaganda come down our way. You're going to see a lot more of the same tactics that they used in the last time that they wanted to take us into a major conflict come our way. What I ask is that you do your own research, that you just don't see it for what they want you to see it as, but actually ask questions. Try to see if you can capture some of what is going behind the scenes, instead of just taking the word of whatever mainstream media pundit gets out there and tells you, yeah, this happened, let's go to war. And that's part of the reason why I have to, adjust the video that I was going to put up later on today. I'm going to have to adjust it and then reload it and see if it'll pass the test. Is because I was talking about that. But then again, I'll probably end up posting a very short segment, maybe a minute and 10-second segment of that video on a different post. And if they take that down, they take it down. But at least some people will be able to see it, because this is going to come our way. The same tactics that they've been using for a very long time in order to control us the way that they want to control us, they're going to continue to use it, but it's going to amplify. Because, ladies and gentlemen, they need, when I say they, I mean governments, I mean our overlords. They need a war. They need to take us to war, because our financial system is crumbling. And whenever they take us to war, it seems that they can go about a way, just like they did during World War II. They can go about a way to make a financial system that the people will take. Why? Because it's not the first thing in their minds. The people will go along to get along, especially during times of great conflict, right? So you have to keep your eyes open, keep your mind open, right? Don't just listen to what is being said by the mainstream media. Do your own research. If everyone in the U.S. would do that, just do your own research, we would be so much better off as a nation, as a whole nation. Cindy X's birthday today. Okay. So happy birthday, Cindy X, as well. Okay, let's see. So I got that wrong. Maybe Jacqueline, if today is your birthday, then happy birthday, as I said. But if you were just kidding and it's Cindy X's birthday, Happy birthday, Cindy. Happy birthday to you. City Girl Homestead, how you doing? Wow. Well, oh, that is a good deal, isn't it, Joyful Orange? 20 dozen quart and 6 dozen pint jars for $200. That is a good deal. Very good deal. Awesome. I agree 100%, New. I agree 100%. These companies, they need to be liable 100%. But unfortunately, they're more important than you and me and the people because they're not. For those of you that don't know, you can look this up. You know how if somebody gets injured by whatever medication it is, so the actual company that produced that medication, they're not on the hook. Yes, you can sue. And even if you win and you're awarded a sum of money, that money does not come from that company. There's actually a fund that the government has that pays that. So we're paying our own, we're pretty much liable. The people are liable for those settlements. And I'll tell you, if most people just knew what really goes on, behind closed doors, behind the curtain, people would go nuts. Oh, yes, by the way, if you want to get some 4-jar lids, go ahead and use my link. And there is a 10% off code. It's thanks, Yarn Prepper. It's Alaska 10% off code. And 4 Jars, in my opinion, is a great company. Very good people. Good company, living the American dream, or trying to make it happen at least. How you doing, Chaos Prepper? Good to see you. Secret Squirrel says, no kidding. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, look at this. Talking about 4-jar lids. Look at this. The Queen of Canning is in the house. Sutton Days. You've probably all heard me say it 1,000 times, but for those of you that may be new here, go check out Sutton Days' YouTube channel. She is the Queen of Canning. Right? I'm a maverick when it comes to canning, but she is the Queen of Canning, ladies and gentlemen. So go check out Sundays. Good to see you, Lisa. Good to see you. Donald, how you doing? Baby Root is here. Actually, surviving behind liberal lines. Let me go ahead and make a little adjustment to that comment. You say they don't care about us, just our fiat currency. Actually, they care about us a lot. They want us to be healthy enough to take that wealth from us. And the fiat currency is not what they care about most. You have to understand that when they're transferring your wealth from you to someone else, right? It's not the fiat currency that they're transferring. They're not transferring the fiat currency from you to someone else by taxing you. What they're transferring is the time that it took you to earn that fiat currency. That is your true wealth. So that's what they're transferring, ladies and gentlemen. But you're 100% right, surviving behind liberal line. It's just a lot of people don't understand what fiat currency represents. I made a statement, I believe it was on yesterday's video, that I think describes what a fiat currency is perfectly. Right? I should copyright that saying. But I said something along the path of, a fiat currency is nothing but a vehicle that the government uses in order to steal your wealth over time. And that is exactly what a fiat currency is. It is a vehicle that is used by governments, that is created by governments in order to steal your wealth over time. That is 100% true, ladies and gentlemen. And man, if people only knew this, if they only knew what has real value and what doesn't, I think we would have a different system than what we have right now. Let's see. Let's see. Linda Bob says, did you see Pinball's video today? It's about CBDCs and what state representatives are doing alternatively. Yes, 26 states. I read something about this somewhere. 26 states are trying to pass legislation, I believe, that to not use CBDCs, but also I believe that 19 states have already passed legislation where they have made gold and silver legal tender, where you can actually go into a store and use gold and silver, and they have a chart that says what the price is at that time, and it updates every 5 minutes or so that you can do that. But that's going to be what we need. Is we need it to be a state thing. where governors stand up to the federal government and say, no, we're not doing this. This is what we're going to do. We're not doing this. And if you want to pass some kind of a CBDC, we're not dealing with anything as far as anything having to do with CBDCs. That's what we have to do. That's why we need people in state government more so that are patriots than those that are in federal government. In my opinion, of course. Let's see. Is that Snafu? How you doing, Snafu? I didn't see you there. Good to see you, brother. Hey, Snafu. Hey, brother, listen, man. I love you, man. I love you, but stop doing that on this channel. All right? I'm not getting into any kind of drama that's going on anywhere else. I don't care. All right? I can't control what anyone else does. I love you, man. We've known each other for a long time, but stop doing that on this channel. All right? Thank you. Kim's Rural Life. How you doing? Amazing Grandma. How you doing? Good to see you. Let's see. The lifeboat is here all the way from Scotland. Good to see you. I think I forgot to mention, if you have any questions or anything you want to share with the community, put it in all caps. If you have a question, put question in front of it. That way I can hopefully catch it, all right? Bob R. has a question about silver and gold, and you all know I like to talk about that. Give me a second here. Let me get this out of here. I hope I'm coming in pretty clear today because we had pretty bad reception in the beginning there. So Bob R. asks, is the price of silver and gold? Is the price of silver and gold? Can you tell me? I don't know what you're asking, Bob R. I think your question there got broken up somehow. Let me go ahead and one last time. TJ Pelfrey. TJ Pelfrey. This is the email address that you need to send me your information so I can send you your prize. All right. This is the email. I've been checking that email every single day. I have nothing from you. And I've checked the spam as well. Right. If for some reason you can't get your email to go through using this email address, then go ahead and see if you can contact Yarn Prepper on Instagram and then provide her with your email address. Okay. Because I really want to get that prize to you. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off here now. But hopefully, if you're not here now, you'll see it if you watch the rerun. All right, I'm going to bring it down some, okay? Hey, how you doing, Bullseye, all the way from Michigan? Good to see you. Welcome. Kim's Rural Life is here. Nicole Snyder, how you doing, all the way from Wyoming? Surviving Behind Liberal Lies says, I wish I was 50. Let's see. Look into terrain theory. That sounds interesting. Okay, let me go ahead and copy that. Let me copy that right there real quick. That way I don't forget it. I always like looking into stuff. Gene Teal, how you doing? Good to see you. Tracy Bailey asks, what size coins for buying silver? If I'm just starting out, I'm just going to buy regular 1 ounce rounds because those are your best premium right there. 1 ounce rounds are your best premium. They're just 1 ounce, which is good. If the premium on junk silver or constitutional silver, i.e. quarters, dimes, half dollars that are 90% silver, if the premium on those are as good or better than buying rounds, I would start off with those. But right now, the premium on those is ridiculous. So I would not recommend to anyone, if I were a financial advisor, to buy those right now because I think the premium on those are just way too high. But if the premium was just as low as buying regular 1 ounce rounds, I would buy those instead if I was just starting out. But again, I like to diversify in everything. How you doing, Love Mama? Good to see you. Doggy Mama Drama asks, can you please share this with the people? I don't know what you want me to share. Go ahead and put whatever you want me to share, all in caps. Oh my goodness, it's Me Too's birthday. Man, you guys are really confusing me today. Happy birthday to everyone that is here today, and it's your birthday, okay? Boone, how you doing, Boone? Good to see you. Christina Harrison, good to see you from Florida. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Salty Dog. Yeah, I mean, your rounds, your generic rounds, and from my experience, have the best premium. They have the lowest premium, your generic rounds. If you go into buying your constitutional right now, the premium is outrageous. But the smaller that the size of the silver is, the more fractionalized it is, the more expensive it's going to be, the higher the premium. There you go. Sutton Days said it best. Happy birthday to everyone that's born in February. How you doing, Thada? Good to see you. Oh, let's see. Rakamas has the same idea. Yep. You know what, Louise? That's 100% right. Let the war games begin. And you know how war games begin? With the government propagandizing the people to get them to want to go to war. All right. Look at all of the wars that we've had, and even the ones that aren't really technically wars. Look at the Gulf War back in 2001, 2. Look at how they got us into that. Remember the incubators? You remember that stuff? Yep. And for some reason, people fall for it all the time. And those that don't fall for it, they get shut down really quick. All right. They get shut down really quick. All right. I'm bringing it down here. How far behind am I? Okay. I'm pretty far behind. I'm going to bring it down. Okay. That's right, Boone. Everyone must research everything and question everything. You know, I think that one of the pillars of being a patriot is that you criticize your government and don't believe anything they say, and make sure that you verify what they say to you. And when I say criticize your government, I don't mean like always put them down, but be critical of what they're saying. You know, do your research. Yes, Debbie, that's true. That's true. It is pretty difficult to do some good research now and then because of how they scrub the internet. I forgot what I was looking up the other day, but I was looking up some information, and for goodness gracious, I could not find it anywhere. And then I went to a different search engine, and I was able to find some information on what I was looking at, but I still wasn't able to find enough. And you know, the stuff that went on here about 3 years ago or so, that stuff that was going on for the last couple 3 years, in 50 years, the truth will come out, right? Well, let me put it this way: in 50 years, the government will come and say, yeah, what they were doing was 100% wrong. Even though a lot of people are saying it now and getting shut down for it and getting censored and getting, what do you call it when they scrub you from the internet? Even though there's people saying it now, hey, this is wrong. You know, they've been saying it from the beginning. Hey, this is wrong. You can't do this. This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt this. This is going to hurt that. They just get shut down. They get censored. You know, they get scrubbed from the internet. But in 50 years, they'll come out and say, yeah, you know, what they did back then was really bad. After all of the people that made the decisions that, you know, produced the results, the negative results that were produced in the last few years, after they're all gone, they'll come back and say, yeah, they shouldn't have done that. But that's the way it always works. Look at the Gulf of Tonkin, right? How many Americans did we lose in the Vietnamese conflict? Never was even declared a war. 58,000 Americans, hundreds of thousands, if not over 1 million people that came back injured. And years later, they come out and say, yeah, we probably shouldn't have been there because the Gulf of Tonkin incident never really did happen. And yeah, the president knew that it never happened, but he told people to shut their mouths because we needed to go to war. A lot of people just don't understand that there's so much stuff behind, what they tell you, that almost anything that the government tells you is not 100% truthful. Almost anything is not 100% truthful. Let's see. Yes, Earth Angel says Tatler lids and seals, you can use them. I actually have a good amount of Tatler lids, but I'm saving those just in case. Yes, but 100% right. Those are reusable, depending, I guess, on what brand you have, because there's different brands of those. Depends on how much you can reuse those actual seals. Let's see, bringing it down some. How many of you? Man, there's a lot of you here today. Thank you for joining in on this Sunday. Oh, let's see. Iggy asks, what does overspot mean? Okay, I'm going to explain it to you as simple as I possibly can. That way you can understand. So the spot price is like, let's say if you go and take a look at the price of silver on the stock market, right? The spot price is the price that the miners are going to get. So the miners, they go out there and they bring silver up from the ground in the raw form, in a form that if any layman were to look at it, they wouldn't even know it's silver. It would just look like a whole bunch of dirt, right? Or rock dust. That's what it would look like. They bring it up in the raw form and then they process it into like a brick of silver that's maybe like 85% pure silver, right? Well, the coins that you buy at the shop or over the internet, those are 9.99 or 3 nines. Some of them are 4 nines, right? That's the purity of them. And for those of you that may ask, what's the difference between 3 nines and 4 nines? Is maybe 2 or 3 molecules of something that's in it that's not silver. All right, so it's not that big of a deal. So if you have a choice between 3 9 and 4 9 and they're the exact same price, just get the 4 nines, but it doesn't really matter. When you go to sell them, it's going to be the same price anyways that you get for them. So when you compare what the miners, for example, dig out of the ground and then they melt down into like a big bar that's 85% pure silver. Well, there is a process in getting that 85% pure silver to turn it into a nice shiny coin that's 99.9999% pure silver, right? Well, that process takes time, and time equals what? Time equals money. Time equals fiat currency, unfortunately, right now, right? So the price that they get for that silver is the spot price. That's the price that you can see on the stock market chart on silver, and same thing with gold, platinum, palladium. That's the spot price. That's like the wholesale price for the raw product. All right. So just like a farmer sells his corn to a processor, when the farmer sells the corn to the processor, he's selling it to the processor at a spot price, like the wholesale price. Now, when the mining company takes that silver and they send it to a refinery, the refinery is going to charge a certain amount in order to refine that silver into pure silver, take all the impurities out of it. So that's going to cost money. And then when the refiner sends those silver bars to someone that actually makes silver coins, they're going to have to take those silver bars, they're going to have to flatten them out, they're going to have to stamp out what are called blanks, and then they're going to take those blanks and ship them off to someone that actually mints the face and the back of that silver coin, that puts whatever picture on it, be it a silver eagle picture or be it a buffalo picture, but they're going to have to send it to them, right? Now, all of those steps take money. And then when the silver coin is complete, they get shipped off and they get sent to a retailer, be it an internet retailer or a local retailer like Alaska Rare Coins here in Alaska, right? Well, all of those steps between the time that the silver was manufactured, from its raw form to the time that it gets to the consumer, it all takes money. And that is what the premium covers. The premium on top of the spot is the money that covers the expense of taking that raw material and turning into a finished product, right? That's the best that I can explain it. And the same thing goes with anything that you buy. The same thing goes, like, for example, with corn. When corn is processed, well, let's talk about, what was it? Potatoes, I think. I think I talked about potatoes here on yesterday's video for a brief moment. You know, when a farmer farms potatoes, raises potatoes and sells them, they don't sell them to the wholesaler for the same price that you buy them at the store. The wholesaler has to get them, they have to clean them, they have to separate them by size, they have to weigh them, they have to put them in sacks, they have to put them in a truck. That truck has to bring it to the supermarket, and then you can buy them, right? So usually by the time that you buy them, you're paying 3-4 times more than what the actual farmer got for the potatoes when they first sold it to the wholesaler. So I hope that that really long explanation to a very short question made sense. And the premium also is affected by supply and demand, just like anything else is, right? And anything else that you buy on the open market is affected by supply and demand to the prices. Brenda's asking, when am I finally going to move that couch? When it gets a little warmer outside. My wife just asked me the same question. I also need help moving it. My shoulders aren't what they used to be. Let me see, what date is it? Yes, there is. Ella is asking, is there a code for the antibiotic company for Contingency Medical? There is. It should be in the description of this video here, this live stream, and every one of my videos. I think it's Alaska Prep 10, but just go check it. It's right next to the link that you used to get to it. And I think it's for $10 off. Man, it's too bad you didn't ask before the end of January, because they were having a 10% off through the end of January. But it's still, you get $10 off, and I think it's a really good deal for that as well, for what you're getting. Yeah, absolutely, Retired Reyes. That is a good way to try it out. I mean, you can, as far as nutrient survival, and look at that. I actually have a story about nutrient survival, which is awesome. But let me talk about this. But you can also get like if you go to nutrient survival, you can also get like a little multi-pack that has one of like each of their most popular items for like 25 or 30 bucks. And I'm not sure if they're still running that deal where you can get something free with that. So you can do that as well. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to read you this. I want to read you this because this is awesome. And I don't know if I can show this or not, if it'll even show up. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to show you the actual phone because it's got name on it. But so let me tell you the story. So a friend of mine, somebody that visits me every once in a while, he came over, right? And I gave him one of these. I gave him one of these immune boosts. And you all hear me talk about this all the time. It's awesome, right? You probably won't be able to see it, but look at all of the vitamins and supplements that are in there. It's awesome, right? I gave him one of this, and I said, do me a favor, because he really likes soda pop. He says that sometimes he'll go through like 8 or 10 soda pops a day, right? Kansas soda a day. I was like, do me a favor. I'm going to give you one of these. Take one every single day. Take one every day, whether you like it or not. Just take it and see how you feel. Because every once in a while, he's like, yeah, I don't feel that good. I got sick and all this stuff, right? So he did it. And he gave me his word that he was going to do it. So he took it home, right? So he sends me this text here just yesterday. He says, I am on day number 5. I believe of the nutrient survival stuff, meaning the immune boost. And then he says, everybody tells me that I look better. And I honestly believe that I feel better. So I need you to order me some more of that stuff. So like I tell you, this stuff is awesome. If you haven't tried this, it is awesome. And some people will say, well, this is kind of pricey. I really don't think it is, because one of these envelopes comes out to like $1 and change. However, I'm sure that a lot of people spend $1 and change on stuff that they don't really need every day, but that stuff really does work. And I haven't talked to him. I'm going to call him today to see how he's doing on his soda. Because you see, the thing behind it is what I think works for me. By the way, I haven't drank soda in like 2 months, ladies and gentlemen. None whatsoever. No soda of any kind, no carbonated drinks of any kind or anything like that, right? So that stuff is out of my life. I pretty much live on water now, and water with lime. And I always make sure I have my immune boost every day along with one of their vitamin nutrients, their nutrient drinks that they sell. But that's a good thing. But yeah, he's doing good. I want to talk to him today to see how he's feeling and see how he's doing with his soda, see if he's giving it up. Because one of the things about that, it's got so many nutrients that it takes away your cravings for things like that, which is good. Let's see. Mountain Gal, did I interpret right that those with domestic violence charge can now own? I haven't heard about that. I don't know. I haven't heard about that. Yeah, I haven't heard about that, Mountain Girl. Paul Sargent, how many people do fasting in this community? It will make your preps last long. Yes, that's 100% correct. And I've been looking a lot into that, and I believe that there's a lot of benefits to fasting. So, I believe so, Jennifer. I'm not. Whenever I purchase precious metals, is never intended to be an investment. Okay, it's never intended to be an investment. I hope that I never have to use them and I can leave them for my kids. But I think what you're asking here is like regular. If you're talking about regular coins, just like regular quarters and dimes and nickels that don't have any monetary value, they just have a nominal value as far as fiat currency. Yeah, I don't see why not. Believe it or not, quarters and dimes and nickels, the present ones that are just clad coins, those actually would have some value to them because they have the metal behind them. And those were not issued by the Federal Reserve. They were actually issued by the Treasury. So that's actually, if you have 4 quarters, you can say that you have a US dollar, all right, but not really, because the definition of a US dollar is 371.25 grains of silver. All right, but that's probably the closest thing to money that the government issues is coinage right now, because it's not issued by the Federal Reserve. Oh, Bob R has a good question. Why are silver and gold dropping? I actually looked into this, and it's silver and gold dropping, in my opinion, is a gift. It's a gift. And it happens to me all the time. When I go do my monthly purchase, the next day, silver and gold go down. So, but it is what it is. I don't really look at the price. It's just something that usually happens a lot. But the reason why, and this is my opinion, the reason why silver and gold dropped as much as they did is because of the manipulated numbers that they have for the jobs reports. All right. So the jobs reports came out, and it showed that we gained like 500 and something thousand jobs in the month of January, and they were only expecting 180 something thousand. So what that did is that elevated the value of the dollar. The dollar went up to like almost 103, and I think before that it was below 101. All right, so that elevated the value of the dollar, and since the dollar, the value of the dollar inversely correlates against the nominal value of silver and gold got smashed down. But in my opinion, that is just a gift. That is a gift. I do believe that I'm going to wait till Monday, till tomorrow, and see if it keeps going down. Hopefully it does. I hope it goes down more, because I'm going to go ahead and flip the mattress, on my bed and my couch and everything, to see if I can find some spare change to go buy me some more silver. Because if it's on sale, I'd rather get some more. But that's why I believe that the value, or the nominal value, all right, the nominal value of silver and gold went down, is because, and think about it, this jobs report, ladies and gentlemen, that came out, in a way, it's a bad thing. Oh, we have 500 and something new jobs open up in January, right? So we're having more jobs open up, but people are spending less in discretionary spending. Why do you think that people are taking on more jobs? Right now, we have about 5 million job openings in the US, meaning jobs that are not filled right now. And right now we have about 11 million job openings. 11 million job openings right now in the US, jobs that are not filled, but we only have 5 million people that are being counted as unemployed. So we have more than twice the job openings than we have people that are looking for jobs right now. Those numbers are completely manipulated, and they're going to continue to manipulate those numbers as long as they possibly can. Because right now we are in the last innings of this fiat currency empire. We are in the last innings, and that's very unfortunate, because it's kind of a shame what's happened to our nation. We could have been a nation that could have been great for a very long time. All right. Now, our nation, our country, in my opinion, the United States of America, is still a great nation because it's the people that make the nation. But when I say we could have been a great nation, is that we could have been so much better than we are now had we had a just government. Had we had a government of people that were there for the people and not themselves, and that were there for we the people instead of for their overlords, instead of for the people that they answer to, we could have had a great nation that would have probably lasted more than 100, 2, 3, 400 years. Right now, we're nearing the 250-year mark. I think that if we would have done things right, we could have gone on another, 10, 20 generations. But greed, greed takes over people, and power also takes over people. And unfortunately for the bad. So we're just going to have to deal with the consequences of the decisions that these people made on our behalves, unfortunately. Chad Dolan, AP, do you think China will send more balloons soon? I'm not sure that they will. However, now they know. I talk about this for a little bit on the video that I'm going to put up later on today. I'm not sure that they will, but now they know how far they can get away with it. Right? It's pretty disgraceful, really. Like I was saying, our nation could be so much better than what it is if we had real representatives representing us, we the people. Ladies and gentlemen, go and subscribe to Evita Cooks and Preps if you want to learn how to cook in Spanish and English, right? Because she's only 100 subs away from hitting that 10,000 goal, right? So go check it out. Oh, this is a great deal. Emergency Essentials has tomato powder, number 10 cans for $24.99. Man, I might have to order some of those. I mean, yes, I love, for those, I don't want to confuse you. I love Nutrient Survival, but they don't sell tomato powder. And Emergency Essentials tomato powder is just as good as the Oxen Farms tomato powder. So I may have to get on that site and order me a few. I have a whole bunch of them, but for $25, that's a deal. Crystal clear. Have you ever rendered lard? Yes, I have rendered lard. It's very easy to do, and I didn't pressure can it. I don't think you need to, but yeah, rendering lard is pretty easy to do. I'm bringing it down some because I am really far behind, ladies and gentlemen. I think I've seen a really long question here, though. Let me see. If I miss your questions, just put them back up, okay? I really don't want to miss this one because I actually seen it. It was in small caps, though. Okay, I missed it. Yeah, Trucker Hersey, worthless coins still hold values. Quarters time. Yes, they will because they're made out of metal. They actually have something behind it. So, especially nickels. Nickels actually have more value in the metal than the nominal value of the coin, right? Okay, bringing it down some. Rack Ham asked, would you purchase scrap silver? I would if the price was right, because silver, it doesn't matter what silver is in. The monetary value is still the same for the amount of silver in that product. So let's say, for example, that I had a 0.925 silver spoon. It's sterling silver. It's 92.5% silver. If I go to sell that, they're not going to pay me for the entire weight of the spoon. They're going to pay me for the actual silver that's within that spoon. So yeah, I wouldn't mind buying scrap silver if the price was right. Okay, bringing it down some, ladies and gentlemen. Where are we at? Man, we're almost an hour already. Man, time just flies. Time just flies. Give me a second. I know that someone left me a super chat here a while ago, so I don't know who it was, but thank you. And if I miss it, I will make sure that I get to it before we sign off. Okay. I'm trying to stay a little bit ahead, but I'm not ahead. Oh, here it is, John H. Thank you, John. Thank you very much. Sorry, Mr. Laffer. Okay, I've been very poorly, completely wiped out. And really, man, I hope you're getting better. Oh, the coin I sent you arrived. Oh, awesome, man. I hope you're getting better, John. Man, you're making me worry now, saying that you're spitting out blood. Well, hey, man, make sure you let us know how you're doing. Make sure that you join us on our next live stream too on Friday and 5 more days. So yeah, I hope you get better, my brother. Thank you. Oh yeah, Sutton. Farmers always take the hit. I mean, they always take the hit. And I believe that the USDA is a culprit in that. You know, and I've talked about this before, how in the beginning of every year, the USDA comes out and says, yeah, the crop year is going to be great this year. We're looking to have record crops this year, right? Well, what does that do? That makes the futures contracts that the farmers sign worth less, because whoever's buying it from them are like, hey, we're going to have a record crop year in corn, so the price of the corn is going to be low. So I'm going to offer you this for corn. And then at the end of the year, of course, they come back and they revise those numbers. Oh, we didn't do as good as we thought we were going to do. So then what happens to the price of corn? It goes up. Well, it ends up screwing over the farmer. Why? Because they already signed a contract for the price of corn at that price that they estimated it was going to be earlier that year. I think it's a big game, and I personally think it's a big sham. I could be wrong, but I personally think it's a big sham. Angela, no, the dogs are in the house. They're in the house today. They didn't join me today. Cheryl Fatigue asked, we had many pipes freeze and some burst. How do you solve this in Alaska? By having backups for everything. At least that's how I do it. Right. So I need electricity, ladies and gentlemen. I need electricity. So one of my main things is to make sure that I always have backup electricity in one form or another for my systems whenever the power goes out. And that electricity allows my heating systems to continue to run. They don't run on electricity. They run on heating oil, but they need electricity in order to run the peripherals, like the fans, like the fuel pump, like the motherboard, right? So yes, you just have to have backups to backups to backups, right? And then understand what you need depending on what part of the country or world you live in. Hey, how you doing, Disney Up? Good to see you. Okay, let's see. That's funny. Me Too says, anyone who isn't a fan of the Immune Boost flavor, it tastes like vitamin C. You can taste it. It's bitter because you can taste it. Yeah, put it in orange juice. You can just put it in a cup of orange juice or 4 ounces of orange juice. Stir it really good, and that's it. My friend, the one that I told you the story about, I said, listen, just drink it and don't complain about it. I said, if you don't like it, you'll be fine. Just drink it and don't complain about it. You're gonna feel better. Hey, how you doing, Kevin? Good to see you. Tonette says, really, we ought to all fatten up to prep. Well, I've already got that prep taken care of, Tonette. Let's see. I'm bringing it down, looking for questions. New Florida Prepper One says, have you ever tried the Bega cheese or the red feather canned butter? I've tried them both. I have them both. I've got some really older videos out there where I show you where I'm reviewing them, and I'm a big fan of both of those. I'm a much bigger fan of the red feather butter in a can, or red feather brand butter in a can, now that I already stocked up on them because they're so expensive now. So the ones that I've had for a long time, and I paid a good price, I believe, compared to what they're going for now. But yes, I'm a big fan of both of those products. I think they're really good. I just got to make sure that you check them every once in a while. Every year or every 2 years or so, I'll take out one of my oldest cans of the butter and the cheese and try it out just to make sure that they're still doing good. And that butter, to tell you the truth, man, I think it'll last forever, because that butter is pretty much fat and it's sealed. It's sealed in a can. As long as the can is not compromised, I think that butter will last a very, very long time. I'm talking about more than a decade, if not closer to 2 decades, if not more, as long as you keep it stored properly, right? That's right, Sutton Days. Sutton Days says, buying silver and gold is not an investment. Please help this newbie understand. Also, please warn us when you do your monthly purchase so we can save a buck. All right, so the reason that silver and gold should not be viewed as an... Man, I hope you're still here, Lisa. It's been like 13 minutes. I hope you're still here. The reason that silver and gold should not be looked at as an investment is because it's real money, right? It's real money. That's why silver and gold, it doesn't make interest. If you take silver and gold and you put it in your drawer, you know, it's not going to produce any interest. It's because it's real money. It is what it is, right? All of the value is within it. So when you purchase silver or gold, in my opinion, I'm not a financial advisor, it's because you want to purchase the purchasing power of the number of fiat currency units that it costs you to purchase that silver and gold at that time. So let me make it simple. Let me grab a coin over here. Oh, no, I'll grab the silver bar that I was gifted. All right, so this silver bar right here, right? Actually, this is a gift from one of you all that sent this to me last year. 5-ounce silver bar. Let's say I go to the coin shop today to buy a 5-ounce silver bar, okay? And let's say that 5-ounce silver bar cost me 100 fiat currency units, okay? So today, with 100 fiat currency units, let's say that I can buy 20 loaves of bread, right? Just making up a number. So today I can buy 20 loaves of bread with $100, 100 Federal Reserve notes, right? And at the same time, today I can buy 5 ounces of silver with the same $100. The way that silver preserves its value is that in 20 years, you can take this silver and you can buy 20 loaves of bread. But in 20 years, this fiat currency here may not even exist anymore. This may not even exist anymore in 20 years. Whereas this still will, because it's God's money. It's an element of the earth. It was put here so that we can use to trade with one another in a fair way, right? In a fair and just way. This will still hold its value. And the best example that I have of how it will hold its value is with this right here. I don't think I have it. Oh, here it is. It's with these guys right here. This is the best example that I have on how it will preserve its value. You see this quarter right here? It's a 1964. This is a 90% quarter, right? This is what's called junk silver or constitutional silver, right? 90% silver in this. In 1960, 1964, right, you can get a gallon of gasoline in the United States on average. Different parts of the U.S. had different prices, but on average was between 24 and 26 cents for a gallon of gasoline. And it costs you this for 1 gallon of gasoline. Today, if I take this coin, right, that I can buy a gallon of gas 50, 60 years ago, if I take this to the coin shop, I can trade it in for enough fiat currency to go and buy a gallon of gasoline. So the purchasing power of this silver coin has stayed true and kept up with inflation. Right? Now, the reason it's not an investment is because, in my opinion, this is not something that I purchased to make money on. This is something that I purchased in order to do just what I explained to you, which is to preserve my purchasing power. Because when you think about it, in preserving your purchasing power, what are you really preserving? You're preserving your time, right? You are preserving the amount of time that it took you to buy that at the time that you bought it, and what it would cost you to buy something else to the future where you can buy the same amount of stuff with that unit, with the unit that you purchase. Man, I hope that makes sense. Lisa, I hope that makes sense. If you want a personal explanation, send me an email or give me a call. All right. Okay, let's bring it down. Okay, I'm bringing it down, ladies and gentlemen. Where are we at? We're at 105. Let me see. Unfortunately, we're going to have to close it off just a little early today again. I actually have something going on today. But who is that? Is that Jupiter's Realm? How you doing, Jupiter's Realm? Good to see you. Mixie, that's a question that I wouldn't be able to answer and no one can answer. But this is what I go by. This is my goal. My goal is to be able to get enough silver so that I can have 2 ounces of silver per day for a year, right? 2 ounces of silver per day for a year. That's my goal. If you take a look at Venezuela, even now, they're using silver right now to trade and barter in the economy because their currency is so worthless, it's so valueless that they're still using gold and silver in the economy to trade. The reason I say 2 ounces is because I believe that 2 ounces of silver will allow you to maintain your standard of living on an everyday basis. So it'll allow you to buy whatever gas you need, whatever food you need, heat your home, etc., right, on a daily basis. So that's why I say 2 ounces per day. I would like to save enough to have enough for a whole year. Where something happens, I have enough to take care of my family for a full year. It gives you time to think and make a plan for if the crisis that you're enduring lasts longer than a year. So that's my rule of thumb on how much silver you should have. John, hey, thank you again, John. Thank you, brother. I'll be next. Okay, they're from the next line. I farm here in the UK, and they just flatten trade here for fat lambs by bringing in New Zealand land. Really? Incredible, John. You know, the people need to wake up. And a lot of people are waking up, but people in masses need to wake up because I think that by the time that all of these crazies get done what they want to get done as far as eliminating, livestock farms, by the time that the people wake up, they're already going to be starving, right? Paul Sargent, I have a lot of generators. If you want to call it solar generators or gas generators, I have a whole bunch of them for a couple of reasons. These guys, the ones that I review, I get to keep them. All right. So I accumulate them. I've actually given away most of my older generators that I was reviewing in the beginning of the channel. But I have a lot of those for that. Plus, I'm addicted to solar generators. I love solar generators. But I also have a lot of gasoline and dual fuel generators, mainly because I get them to review them. So, like I would only require like maybe one of each. One of the smaller ones, one of the ones that are like a quiet generator, like a Honda or a Furman or a Yamaha that are like 2,200 watts or 2,000 watts. I think having one of those is good, but also having a big one that'll power your entire house is good as well. All right. So I have more of the little ones than what I need, but I have them because I review them. I purchase them to review them. But having one of each, I think is a good idea to have. And having at least one good solar generator, I think is a good idea to have too. However, I've always stated that I think that you should go get a gas generator, be it gasoline, be it diesel, be it natural gas or propane, preferably a dual fuel. I think you ought to have a fuel generator first before you get solar generators. Unless you live somewhere where you just can't do that, like in an apartment where you just can't use a gas generator. Hey, thank you, Surviving Behind Liberal Lines. By the way, we are going down a hole, and that hole is getting deeper and deeper. Yeah, we've been doing that for a long time. Topping off your preps and even starting prepping. It's not too late. Everyone keep your eye on the end game and start now. Yeah, I hope that more people will listen. But unfortunately, a lot of people won't. Brenda asks, I bought canning supplies, but I'm afraid to start. What is the best video for beginning canning? You can go check out Sutton Days. I do have some videos where I pressure can beef or even ground beef. And in my opinion, that's like the easiest thing that you can pressure can that's going to get you hooked on canning. All right. I think that the very easiest thing to pressure can is just beans, dry beans. Easy. Right. a lot easier than beef, but beef is easy also, cold pack method. And the reason I say that I would go with beef if it's your first one is because it's easy to can, sorry, but because once you're done with it, make sure that you open one and taste it and have it with a meal. Because once you taste that beef coming out of that jar after you pressure can it, you are going to get hooked because it is delicious. Oh, guess what I'm having today, ladies and gentlemen? Maybe I'll do a short video on this. I'm going to be having some oxtail stew today, right? I've got it in the house. I have to go in there and put it in the pot. I'm going to have it in the pot probably for like 6-7 hours. So I'm having some oxtail stew. I cannot wait. It's going to be very tasty. That man, Trump be cool. You see, Trump be cool. That you have it perfectly. I should have said it that way. Gold and silver are there to preserve wealth, not create it. That's right. But you know what? The price of gold and silver has been so manipulated for so long that I do believe that it is going to create wealth for many that hold it, meaning that it's going to be able to purchase for you more than what it did when you first bought it because it's so very manipulated. Let's see. AP, the immune system doesn't look like it will fully dissolve in juice. The yogurt holes. Actually, you know what? Me too. Me too is saying that the immune boost doesn't fully dissolve in juice. This thing is awesome. This is my little nutrient survival shaker that I got with my reboot kit. This works perfect. Do you want me to try it on this amount of water? Let's give it a try. I'm going to do it right now. This is funny. No, this is not an infomercial, okay? We are just hanging out, and I am going to show you here on live TV. What's the name of that guy? Ricky something, the guy that passed away? Let's see. I'm going to put it in here. I actually haven't had my immune boost this morning yet, so there's a good way to do it. But you see, I put it in there, and this little shaker works really good. So you see that? There you go. Now, if you let this sit, if you let it sit for a long time, you'll see that some of the vitamin C, it'll come to the bottom, but all you do is shake it again. It works really good. So, and even if you want to try it in orange juice, try it in orange juice just the same way using this bottle or using one that you have. You don't have to have a nutrient survival shaker, but using one that you have. Okay, let's see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead. Man, I feel bad because I'm pretty sure that I missed a lot of questions. Okay. Oh, you know what? Good point, Doggy Mama. Doggy Mama says here that melting lead is dangerous, but yeah, I mean, I honestly wouldn't be trying to melt lead to preserve value. And if you are, then obviously take the precautionary steps that you need to, so that you don't get cancer or something like that, right, ladies and gentlemen? That would make no sense. But yeah, that to me would be something like a common sense thing. But a lot of people may not know. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and call it for today. I do have to, I'm going to get that video up, the video that I was working on that I had to adjust. For those of you that weren't here earlier, I had to adjust the video that I'm working on to put up, and I'm going to go ahead and fix it and get it put up. That's going to be coming out later on today. All right. Okay, we are at the bottom. Welcome to all the newbies. Benny Bothell, how you doing, Benny? I mean, Bonnie Bethel. Yes, welcome to all the newbies. If you are new, go ahead and put I am new in all caps, and we'll shout you out during our outro. That way everyone can welcome you into the community. All right. Hey, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I really want to tell you that I appreciate every single one of you. And I hope that you're preparing. I hope that you're getting ready. And you know what I hope the most? The most that I hope is that I'm 100% wrong about all of the uncertain times that we've got coming ahead. I hope I'm 100% wrong. But you know, I hear this often stated in other channels, and it's this, is you can afford for me to be wrong, but can you afford for me to be right? And I don't want to be right. I wish that I were wrong. In a way, I do want this system to end so that we can enter into a more fair system and more just system. But make sure that you're preparing. Make sure that you're filling in the gaps. Make sure that you're taking care of yourselves. And most important of all, make sure that you're praying and asking God to, to forgive you for whatever it is that you may need forgiving for. All right. And also your family. Make sure that you spend time for your family. All right. So be very thankful for these days that we're living in, because at least we are here living in them, experiencing this awesome life that we've been gifted. All right. I want to God bless every one of you. All right. God bless every one of you. I hope that you have a great rest of your weekend. And we will see you again next Friday. Okay. And I'm going to say it one last time. TJ Pelfrey, make sure that you email me here or get a hold of Yarn Prepper so that she on Instagram, so that she can get me your information. Okay. So I can send you a gift. Have a great weekend. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to every one of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper, and I'm out. God bless you all. Thank you very much, mods. God bless you all.